Welcome to the 2013 KVIE Art Auction, celebrating 32 years of visual arts in our region. More than 250 pieces will be auctioned off to the highest bidder, and you can be a part of the action by watching and bidding on your favorite pieces. View the entire collection online at kvie.org/art auction. Then, when your favorite item appears, call 1-800-270-6601 to place your bid. You can also interact live with the auction team on Twitter using hashtag KVIEArts. Remember to bid high and bid often. And now, let the auction begin. Sold.
Stay tuned for the Award Winners category, coming up next on the KVIE Art Auction. This category features the best of this year's auction, carefully selected by the jurors and curator. View all of the categories featured in this year's auction at kvie.org/art auction. Bid high and bid often.
Well, good evening and welcome to the KVIE Art Auction. I'm Akiba Howard, and this portion of the KVIE Art Auction is presented by Mansour's Oriental Rug Gallery. We would like to thank Mansour's Oriental Rug Gallery for supporting public television and art, the reason why we're all here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to quickly review all of the amazing art that is award winner half hour right here. So let's get started. We're going to talk about the first piece, which is coming up, 25A. This is an amazing piece called Empty Nest by Laura Karen. It's a 12 by 36 that's got a retail value of $600. You're going to love this piece and you're going to want to get it in your house. Up next, 25B is Japantown Cherry Blossom Festival, San Francisco. It's by James Lane. It's a 28 by 28 with a retail value of $875. And up next, we'll have an interesting story to explain this, but this piece is actually called Widow's Taunt by D.L. Thomas. It's a 26 by 22. We've got Midtown Framing that's done a great job on this, $750 retail value. And then we've got 25D. That is called On a Whim by Karen Farringer. This 2416 by 10 is a beautiful curator's award. Got a retail value of $400, and I'm sure you're going to want to get it. And then a couple of my favorite pieces, 25E, Huey. Enough said. Kathy Keel. It's a beautiful sculpture, $550 retail value. It's a curator's award, which means it's going to be popular tonight. And then 25F, we're going to finish out the half hour with Chihuahua by Paula Winsel Bellicera. It's another ceramic, 11 8 by 7. It's a $350 retail value, and it is a Juror Award winner. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us for this next hour is, and I can't call him this because he's told me I have to be really clear about this. He is an obsessive collector, and I think that makes him an expert. It's Will Green. Will is the owner of The Empty Attic in East Sacramento, and he's an avid art collector whose private collection has been featured at the Smud Gallery. Will, why don't you tell us a little bit about this amazing piece we've got right here, 25A.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be back again this year. And this is my favorite, I think, of this year's collection by Ms. Carone. This is so much history in this piece. First of all, I just want to say the history of the apron. Where do we see them again? It brings back the memories of my grandmom and her sisters, all that they would gather, the pawpaws or the tomatoes or whatever. But this piece is like three-dimensional. It rises out of the piece for you. There's fabric, there's stitchery. But there's even more here to me, the African-American history. And it brings back to me the memories of 4 young women who lost their lives 50 years ago in the bombing of Birmingham. And if you think about that, 2 generations of women have been robbed of the empty nest that they could have experienced in their lives. So, I mean, my heart really goes out to this piece, the reverence of it, the calmness of it. It is beautiful.
And I'm not sure that everybody can tell here, but you'll notice that Will and I are standing on opposite sides of it. This is a narrow piece.
It's a very narrow piece. It could fit in anywhere.
Right.
But this is a statement to history. It lives on. It speaks so much.
Absolutely.
The depth of its history that it speaks.
Talk to me a little
Beautiful
bit about
colors.
this nest that she's got
Well,
going on.
so this is the nest that's been built with twigs working into the apron gathered up. But obviously the birds, the fledglings are missing. They're gone.
yeah.
So they've flown the coop, so to speak. And here she is to carry on with life.
Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you the number. 1-800-270-6601 is the number. I'll say it again. 1-800-270-6601. It looks like people are listening to me. I love that. Get on the phone. Get your bid in right now. We're looking for a $180 bid right now. And if you get on the phone and you let us know what's going on, we're going to get this piece of art to you. We're looking for a retail value of $600. And that means all you got to do is get involved. It's a two-people deal, one person bidding against the other. Let's make this thing happen. Now, it's mixed media.
Mixed media, so we have fabric, we have stitchery, we have wood twigs, we have paint, and the application of the paint, we have paper in the hair. And but even the dimensionality, we have cutouts so that you actually have dimensionality in the eyes here. This is three-dimensional, presented in a two-dimensional appearance on the surface, but there is major depth to this piece.
It's a Jurors Award winner. It's a figurative. This is an amazing piece of art that you can just about fit anywhere in your house. I mean, I think it would look wonderful in a landing. I mean, just imagine coming in the door and seeing this in between a few other amazing pieces.
She has only been doing art professionally for 5 years. I want to read this one statement that she makes. Art has always been my way of expressing how I understand the world. I am constantly inspired to create art that portrays the human condition in both a thoughtful and emotional way. And she has tugged at my heartstrings on this piece.
Well, she's tugging at the heartstrings of a few of our callers right now because we've got a $400 bid on the line, and we're looking to get it up to $600. So let's see who's going to be the next person to get in on this phone auction thing. 'Cause that's why we're here. Look, we want you to help us to keep this programming on the air. That's what this art auction, that's what this whole weekend is all about, making sure that we give you something to help us keep this wonderful something going, this beautiful programming that we have. So we've got a $400 bid. And we are looking for something from you guys, looking for a $450 bid. So give us a call right now. Let's get the phones ringing. And let's talk about the expression in her face. Those eyes, I mean, they really...
Well, the eyes see all the way through you. I mean, they are, but there's this placidness to them. They are just, they're full of love, and it's... I'm ready for whatever's next in life statement come through in the eyes. I mean, she is so calm, so tranquil, and yet her nest is empty.
It is. And you can have this piece of wonderful art in your home. All you got to do is pick up the phone and call us. 1-800-270-6601 is the number, and you can have this award winner in your house. That's what this whole half hour is all about. It's about getting the award winners out to you in your home, and you can come and pick them up first thing in the morning so that you can have this on your wall later on in the afternoon. And I mean, you can imagine what kind of big issue it's making.
I would love to have this piece in my collection.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we're going to move on to the next piece. 25B is a wonderful piece called Japantown Cherry Blossom Festival, San Francisco. And I remember when I first saw this on Monday at the at the preview, I had to take some time out to really understand what I was looking at. This is a very complex piece of art here.
Well, this is a festival happening in San Francisco, but I assume that it's a very traditional Japanese festival of the maybe sake. There's kegs of, I think, the sake on top, and then the men climbing up. This is a, I think, Shinto shrine temple. But again, San Francisco Nihon Machi is, I assume, the name of the festival, both in English and in kanji script across. Beautiful colors and balance of colors, turquoise, red, pastels, great sky, birds flying, lots of movement in this piece.
And it gives good contrast too. Ladies and gentlemen, we need a $250 bid here. It's got a retail value of $875, and even that for this amazing piece of artwork is absolutely nothing. So what you need to do is get on the phone right now so that you can have Japantown Cherry Blossom Festival San Francisco in your home. And this is by James Lane.
Yes, he's been creating art for over 11 years. He wanted to capture the excitement, the energy, the movement in this festival, and here it is before you. It's a cherry blossom festival. You can see all of the cherry trees in bloom. So this is as best you get to the, you know, rather than a photographic expression, This is it by the artist, oil on canvas.
Now, I'm going to say this, even though I'm not necessarily a fan of theirs, there's a little piece of something in this piece of art that I think a few fans might be a big lover of, and I see the Giants in there. They've got the San Francisco Giants in there. That's an absolutely wonderful little tint that they've got in there.
I'm not a sport aficionado. I'm glad you saw it. My eye didn't catch it. But I know this about it. It was hard for the artist to part with this piece.
Right.
This is one of his favorites.
Now we're going to run over to Dee over in the phone bank. Dee, what's going on with that beautiful piece there?
Okay, you know it's getting a little late in the night when I want to start singing, I found my Jill, because I got a Jill over here, and I got a Jill over here, and I have a fabulous piece by Laura Carone, an award-winning artist both last year and this year, and I was going to ask Jill, what do you think of this piece?
Oh, this piece is just amazing. When you look at it, you don't realize that it's 3D, that the little, the apron and everything is coming out. When you look at it from afar, it looks lifelike, like the person's just going to walk right off the canvas. But when up close, it's got such dimension, you can actually see all the little, the nests and everything right there.
Okay, she's got a call coming in. That means people are bidding, and that's what we want you to do. I've got my other Jill here who's been working all afternoon carrying art around. Right now, I have a bid of $400 on a $600 piece. This should be a bell ringer. This was an award winner this year. She was an award winner last year. Let's get that $400 bid up to $600. We're going to take this off air. I'm only going to keep it open for another minute or two. That means you need to bid on it now. This is how it's going to work. It's going to be really fast paced. We've got a bunch of really nice stuff. These are all the masters and the award winners that you're going to see later on tonight. And if you don't call and bid on them when you see them, they're going to be gone. So let's go back to my friends Will and Akiba and see what you guys have going on.
Honestly, I've got a little bit of a broken heart, Dee, because I thought Jill was looking at me while I was standing next to that wonderful piece. Turns out I was wrong. Don't miss out on the opportunity to get Empty Nest in your home. They need a bid of $400. But let's get back to this piece here, because I want to say again, for all of you San Francisco Giants fans out there that might be watching, there's some subtlety in this wonderful piece that you've got to get your eyeball on, and there you can see it right there. Isn't HD wonderful? It gives you such true color here.
It's all right there to be seen.
It really is.
Right there. And I had missed that before, but again, like I said, I'm not the sport fan. But again, the movement of the clouds in this piece, beautiful use of sky, the birds in flight, kind of the mist coming in from the ocean across the temple, cherry blossoms. It's the festival.
You're probably wondering why I'm laughing, right?
Sure.
I'll tell you, because we've got a $1,000 bid on this piece.
Well, let's go.
That's what I'm talking about, a $1,000 bid.
Yeah.
That's a bell ringer, and we're not going to stop there. Let's make sure that we drive this one right on up, because it's time to get moving. Now, let's move on to 25C. This is an interesting piece that I was intrigued by, because there's a little story we've got behind this. We've got it listed as something else, but this is called Widow's Taunt by D.L. Thomas.
Yeah, I actually researched this piece. This artist is represented archival framing at Dee's Gallery, and I found the title Widow's Taunt, which made a lot more sense to me than the title somehow carrying on.
Right.
So this is clearly a widow that is kind of somewhat demurely facing you, the audience looking at you. And the artist is typically an abstract artist, and yet he's ventured into figurative works. But it goes further than that. He's exploring art history. And this piece and his exploration was actually triggered in 1919 by Marcel Duchamp, who took Da Vinci's Mona Lisa and drew a mustache on the Mona Lisa and a goatee, right? So then that kind of gave the rest of the art world, well, maybe we can embellish or play around in ways with other themes of artist work. And so I think this is what's happening in this series of figurative work by D.L. Thomas, a very accomplished artist, art historian. He shares time between Sacramento and southern France.
So he's got plenty of exposure around the world. You know, we want to thank Midtown Framing for the great work that they did on this, because I love the way that black frame kind of pulls out some of the black that's in the image there, and it really gives you a sense of where the mood of the piece.
Much more dimensionality. This piece has, well, actually he was a favorite in 2011. This won the Figurative Award this year. The framing adds to the dimensionality, it pulls it out. But again, it's the look. If you think about the face, kind of a harlequin, it's almost like it's divided in two divisions between this white mask and this red mask. So you're getting two very distinct messages and kind of a jeering or sneering look from this widow as to, is she really grieving or is she asking, let's carry on?
Right. Which is a really good point. Thank you for the segue, Will. We got to carry on with these bids. I want to hear the phones ringing. We've got a $225 bid on this piece, and I know that we can drive this one right up to the retail value. Let's remember, these artists, they give us this work so that we can help to keep this mission of KVIE going. So we've got a $750 retail value, but we're at $225 now, and I know we can do much better. 1-800-270-6601 is the number, just in case you forgot.
And another thing about the artist, I've just remembered, he will actually be having a showing at Archival in October. So if you're interested in this line of kind of play on the masters and their work, you're going to see even more of his wonderful pieces in that October show at Archival Framing.
Well, this is amazing. The Juror Award winner for figurative work, D.L. Thomas, really pulled one out here. I mean, this is
very good, very strong brush strokes, interesting mix of colors. Red is, to me, a very sexualized color, and yet the gold of golden years. So there's this tension going on in this painting between, is this really a widow that's at the end of her life and given up? I think not.
Right. Well, we got to hear this phone ring. We want to get a bid on this right now. $225 is the bid that we're looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, just get on the phone. Pick up the phone and call, and you can have this piece of art in your home, on your wall by tomorrow afternoon, because we're letting you guys come in and pick this stuff up all the way through Tuesday. 1-800-270-6601 is the number. All you got to do is give us a call, and you can have this amazing piece of art on your wall. And it seems like there's a flow. I mean, I almost notice in areas here there's a flow of the paint.
Well, you feel the fabrics flowing, you feel the movement, but again, for me, it's the mystery. There is mystery and intrigue in this piece. And she invites you in by the look of come into my mystery.
Okay, well, I hope somebody gets on the line and gets that one. It is an absolutely beautiful piece of art. But this one, 25D, is something that caught my eye Monday at the preview party. I'm a huge Dominoes fan. Been playing since I was a small child. And this piece called On a Whim by Karen Farringer, it goes even further than that, because then I noticed the piece right in the middle, this vintage Polaroid camera. Wow.
And well, I also hope that it will show on camera is even the vintage piece that's behind the camera. It's this three-piece swirly Melmar, whatever, plastic molded hors d'oeuvre piece.
Exactly.
I collect eclectic things at my shop. This is over the top. These little custard cups, the big checker pieces. It's amazing mid-century kind of statement with colors and assemblage. I mean, she is really, this was actually a favorite of the staff here at KVIE. So, you know, maybe that's one of the greatest awards any art piece could receive, is to be the favorite by the staff.
Isn't that the truth? My father would absolutely love this, because he just, the element of dominoes, the element of gaming, and that element of true, I don't want to call it old school, but it really is a sense of something out of the 60s and 70s.
Well, where else in this day and time of fast pace do we have time to even sit down and think about gaming? And so this is, again, going back nostalgically to capturing a moment in time with that photograph of the Polaroid and playing dominoes. You don't see it very often. You don't hear about it very often.
Well, let's be honest. There's no pinching and zooming on this. This is not an iPad. This is real stuff here. 1-800-270-6601 is the number. You've got to get your call in right now so you can get your bid in. And right now we're going to go over to Dee, who's over in the phone bank with one of my favorites.
Hi. I'm here with D.L. Thomas's piece, Carrying On. I wanted to talk about this piece. I show this artist at Archival. He's in a group exhibition next month. Right now, I only have a bid of $225. I can't buy the piece for $225. This has a retail of $750. This artist maintains a studio both here in Sacramento and in the south of France. He is internationally known. He's widely collected. People in Sacramento love him. This particular series has been a really big hit. The last 2 times he's shown in my space. So I want to get this back up. It's $225, it's $750. I need at least a $500 bid on this piece. When DL gave us this piece, he wanted us to get that $750 for KVIE. He wanted you to call that 1-800-270-6601 and put your bid in now. I've got all my Kaplan College kids here waiting to hear from you on the phone. So we're going to go back to Akiba and one of my favorite pieces, a Curator Award winner.
And the big thing is we're going to get you on the phone because I know you want to have this piece. We're looking for a $120 bid. Ladies and gentlemen, get on the phone, 1-800-270-6601. And let's turn this into a real bidding auction because there's somebody that's on the phone that's going to want this and there's somebody else that's going to want to take it from them. That's the way these auctions work. And I think, quite honestly, this is a wonderful piece to be doing that with. I mean, we're talking about a number of different pieces of, from the dominoes, from the pieces. We're talking about a number of different things, and you guys have to get on the phone so you can have this on your wall. 1-800-270-6601 is the number. Just get on the phone and get this piece in your house so that you can not only have this piece of art at home, but also the bigger mission, which is supporting KVIE and making sure that the quality that is this PBS station here in town is still available. Those programs that you watch every single day, they don't happen just because. They happen because the community supports events like this weekend of amazing art that these artists donate to us so that we can help you guys get them into your homes. But you have to get on the phone first. 1-800-270-6601 is the number. Get on the line and get this piece of art in your home because, again, we're talking about a curator's award.
Yeah. One thing I've just noticed for the first time, okay, these are the newer kind of celluloid or plastic. These are old wooden dominoes. Yeah. Where do you see wooden dominoes anymore?
Right, exactly. Well, that's a sound I like to hear.
Yeah.
That's the phone ringing. That means that people are interested, and that's what you've got to do, is you've got to get on the phone and get interested in all of this amazing art. This has the earmarks of a game room. And it can fit into any kind of a contemporary room that you're developing, but it's not going to fit in anywhere if you don't get it on your wall. So call us, 1-800-270-6601. What was that you were going to say?
I want to say one other thing. If you think about it conceptually, even though this is a more modern piece, this is really ancient in the form of a mandala, balanced, all directions, north, south, east, west, spiral form.
Right, yeah.
So this is universal.
And I noticed that. I noticed the balance of it, and that's kind of one of the things that gives it so many more options where you can put it on a wall and really have it stand out and pop. But that's all on you. 1-800-270-6601. That's the number to call so that you can have this wonderful piece of art in your home and as a part of your art collection. That's really what we're trying to accomplish, is increasing your art collection. So go ahead, get on the phone, call us. It's on a whim. We've got a retail value of $400, and that is exactly what the artist decided that this piece could be worth and that would be good for us to get over here at KVIE. Now, I know that a lot of you have been waiting for this piece that's coming up now, so we may as well just go ahead and jump right to it. This is one of my favorites. This is Huey. Huey is 25E, and ladies and gentlemen, he is getting his own ovation in the background. I love this piece. Tell me a little bit about Kathy Keel's Huey.
Well, it can't be your favorite piece because it's my favorite piece.
Okay.
And I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn the turntable. I'm a retired psychiatrist, okay? And Huey and I are best friends. And it's like I can sit down and just let Huey listen to me all day long.
Right.
Huey is in this seated position and with such an open, kind of very interested look.
Yeah, he really does.
And he is ready to listen.
Well, and he's kind of been our mascot all weekend. If you've been watching any of the promos for the art auction, you've seen Huey. He's been right there in the lower left-hand part of the screen. We've got a $400 bid right now, and we're going to make this one a bell ringer because I've heard phones ringing in the background, but that means you've got to get involved. If you want to have Huey in your house, you've got to call us. 1-800-270-6601 is the number, and you can actually have this amazingly wonderful piece of art in your house.
Huey is relaxed. He is so detail-oriented also. If you look at the mane on this piece, each of these is individual strip of ceramic molded into this piece. Incredible detail. It's beautiful.
It really is. Now, we've got a bid of $450. That means we're on our way there. But you've got to get involved, though. 1-800-270-6601 is the number. Call. Get yourself a Huey.
Signed right back here on his right rear flank by the artist. So there's no, but look at these eyes. I mean, who can refuse the eyes on this piece? This is the most loving and receptive giraffe I've met in a lifetime.
Oh, listen, we've got to go talk to Dee in the phone bank about my favorite gaming piece. Dee, what's up?
Okay. Hi, here we are in the phone bank. It's getting very exciting. I want it one more time on a whim. I need an opening bid of 120. It's 28D. Now I'm going to ask Lisa to step over, and I've got 3 people right now bidding on Huey, and ring those bells. Huey is now at 600. Huey is at 600. Huey was a Curator's Award winner. I am not allowed to go home with that piece because I'm live on air. Otherwise, I would be bidding on it. I'm from the South where Huey is a fairly common name. So I love the giraffe. He's got such character. Right now, we're at 650. I'm looking for 750. I've got 700 over here. Do I have 750? Okay, we've got an auction. So I'm going to send it back over to you guys. We'll close it out here, but we're at 700.
$700 right now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want Huey in your house, you've got to make the phone call right now and talk to those folks in the phone bank. 1-800-270-6601 is the number so that you can have him.
I want to say this. This artist took her first ceramics class in 2006.
Oh, wow.
7 years later, we're seeing Huey. This is a masterpiece for ceramics work. I mean, an incredible artist, really.
Well, and that's why she earned the Curator's Award, and that's why you can have a Curator's Award piece of art in your home, but only if you call us. 1-800-270-6601. As you can see on your screen, it's a Curator's Award. There's the number. Here's Huey. It's a he. You know, we reference a lot of this other art as it, this piece of art, this thing. But when I look at Huey, I actually am inclined to call him a him.
Huey is relaxed. He's waiting to be in your home.
He really is. And before we get back to Huey, let's see what's happening with my gaming piece. What's up, Dee?
Okay, I've got 4 people bidding on Huey right now. Huey is at $800. I need 900. I've got On a Whim out here. We've opened up On a Whim. It's at 150. The next bid is 200. I'm going to ask Lisa to step off this way. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bidders on Huey. And I have the gavel in my hand, which means we're going to have to close it out soon. So we're at 950. I'd like somebody to take the leap and bring me to 1,000. I've got 1,000. We're at 1,000. I need 1,100 for Huey. We're going to move on to 25F. I'm going to keep Huey open, and we'll let you know how it's going.
Dee, this is what I'm talking about. This is an auction. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to make your phone call, though. 1-800-270-6601 is the number so that you can have Huey. But then we've got the Chihuahua. Listen, I've got a neighbor who just had puppies. I'm going to be bringing one home, and I'm naming him Mike. He's not quite as cute as this one, though. Tell us a little bit about this wonderful piece.
Well, actually, this is by Paula Bellacera. I have Paula's work in my collection.
Oh, really?
Again, an incredible ceramicist. This little Chihuahua looks little, but you know as well as I do, Chihuahuas are huge. They are some of the biggest dogs you will ever find.
Right, exactly.
And this is won the Jurors Award again. It's a very simple glaze, beautiful sculpting on this piece. A lot of detail and modeling of the molding of the clay for this piece.
I love to see these numbers move, Will. I'm looking at what Chihuahua's doing right now. We're at 225. We're looking for a 250 call right now. So get on that line, 1-800-270-6601. It's got a 350 retail, but we can definitely pass that.
Look at this. This Chihuahua is full of attitude. It's listening for the next bell ringer for him.
Right, yeah. This is it. So all you've got to do is get involved, 1-800-270-6601, and the Chihuahua can be yours, I would actually run out into the next room and get him because I'd love to see what would happen with my new puppy and this one face to face.
I don't know. You know, this one may stand off
Right,
your new puppy.
right,
That's for
exactly.
sure. This is so realistic
Yeah.
and detailed. Beautiful coloring. Even the, I hope it, well, yeah, I think the pink comes through
Yeah.
in the ear. So major attention. The bristling here on the skin near the mouth where
Right,
the whiskers
right,
would
right.
be.
Yeah.
So beautiful detail on this.
It really is. Dee, you've got some information for us about that Japantown piece, don't you?
Okay, it is getting exciting over here. We have quite the auction. Huey is. Oh, okay. Not the gavel, the mic. Okay, gavel mic. Huey is on a fire. Huey is up to 1,200. We love Huey, so we're going to keep the little giraffe on for a little bit more. What I have here is the lovely Megan, and she is holding the Cherry Blossom Festival. I need a $200 opening bid on this piece. It has an $875 value. It was an award winner. It was chosen by David, one of our jurors, as one of his favorites. It's a beautiful painting. It's got great tradition behind it. It's got depth. It has a whole entire story going on. I need an opening bid of $200 on this $875 painting. Meanwhile, I have not closed Huey out yet, but I'm going to close him out shortly. I have my gavel and I will use it. So let's go back out to Akiba and Will and that adorable Chihuahua.
Yeah, he's adorable, but ladies and gentlemen, be careful. She has the gavel. She will close on Huey. So if you want Huey, you got to call. And if you want this Chihuahua, look, we're at $325. We're looking for a bid of $350 right now, which can not only turn this into a bell ringer, but get a wonderful piece of art into your home. His toenails are even glazed.
Oh, this is like, yeah, they're polished.
They
He's
really
been to
are.
The groomers,
Right.
They really are. Very high gloss.
There it is. We've got the bell ringer. $375 for the
right.
Chihuahua. Right on, ladies and gentlemen, but don't stop there. Do not stop there. Keep on calling 1-800-270-6601 so that we can get this piece of art into your house. We have more original art to bid on and buy tonight at the KVIE Art Auction. But first, we'd like to thank our generous art auction sponsor, Mansour's Oriental Rug Gallery. We appreciate your generous support of KVIE Public Television.
Inside Mansour's gallery are 5,000 Oriental rugs, and every single rug in Mansour's Oriental Rug Gallery is woven exclusively from pure wools and silks, knotted by hand at up to 2,500 knots per square inch. For a beautiful home in a beautiful world, Mansour's Oriental Rug Gallery in 2 locations. Our showroom in the Roseville Galleria Shopping Center and on Fair Oaks Boulevard near Monroe.
Stay tuned for the Contemporary Classics category coming up next on the KVIE Art Auction. Juried by Kim Squalia, this category features abstract and non-objective works in all media. View all of the categories featured in this year's auction at kvie.org/art auction. Bid high and bid often.
Okay, everybody, I've got a couple things I need to close out. This is the Cherry Blossom. We have a bid of $500. I need $675. I'm going to leave it open for a few more minutes till I open my gavel. I've got everybody over here waiting to answer the phone, and I have the little star of the hour, Mr. Huey. Here's the lovely Mr. Huey, and I'm going to close Mr. Huey out if I've got no one on the phone, going once at $1,200, going twice at $1,200. Huey has a new home at $1,200. Okay, let's start the next part of the art auction.
Yes, let's do that. We are about to do this last half hour, and this is going to be a hot half hour. I'm going to jump right into it, and we're going to go ahead and introduce this art. 26A is a piece called Parcheesi 2 by Maria Winkler. It's a 20 by 40 and a half that's got a $625 retail value. It's a beautiful piece here. 26B, the next piece, is a portrait Ansel Adams by Kurt Fishback. This is one of my absolute favorites. It's got a wonderful retail value of $1,200, and that's just a drop in the bucket. Up next is 26C. It's called Rained Bud by Shimo. This is a very nice piece, and we want to thank Archival Framing for their work with those pieces. And then up next is 26D, Sage Tall Ripple Vase. It's a beautiful piece of glass you guys are going to fall in love with. It's got a retail value of $375. And up next after that is 26E, December Hush. This is by Marilyn Kusht. It's a steel piece measuring 18 by 20 by 6, and I think you guys are going to love this piece of art. And then finally, 26F, Don't Worry Darling by Janice Horn. It's a mixed media piece with a retail value of $300, and it is amazing. So we're going to get started here. Will, you got to tell me about this piece, Parcheesi 2.
Well, again, capture of a great time of history when we used to play games.
Right.
Parcheesi, Marie Winkler, art instructor at Sac State College for over 30 years, presents this very graphically done, beautifully done on board, and I think acrylics on board. And it kind of has a mid-century feel to it.
It does.
And if, you know, it kind of hooks you right in. It should.
And I love the lines. I mean, the lines are just so direct and strong.
Very strong and bold. The colors, very intense. Graphic representation. And again, to me, an eternal piece that talks about times gone by.
Well, here's what you have to do if you want to get this piece into your home. 1-800-270-6601 is the number. We're looking for a bid of $188. I know that sounds like an odd number, but it's a definitely wonderful number for you to get in on. But you've got to get on the phone first. 1-800-270-6601. And do you remember playing board games? I mean, these days, now that we've got iPads.
I don't remember Parcheesi that well. I do remember the board.
Yeah.
What I do want to know is that Maria, for those collectors, Maria is highly collected. Her art is at permanent locations like at Kaiser and Sutter General Hospitals.
I see. Okay.
And she also has pieces in the Boise Art Museum, as well as California League of Women Artists represented there. So this is a very skilled, seasoned artist who's highly collected.
Clearly, and that's why you need to get on the phone. That's why you need to have this wonderful piece of art in your home. I mean, listen, we've got the best artists in the area and around that are donating their art so that you can get it into your home. And then what that means is you're supporting this wonderful programming that is KVIE, your PBS home here in the Valley. I like the way she's floated these pieces inside of this.
Well, I think, again, this has been framed by Archival, and Maria's work is represented at Archival Framing. And you can actually see more of her work at mariawinkler.com as well. So, exquisite framing.
It really is. In fact,
cutouts and then recessed so it gives more dimensionality to the piece.
Exactly. And we've got some information about that wonderful Japantown piece over in the phone bank. Dee, talk to me.
Okay, I just want to quickly update. We have a bell ringer on the Chihuahua. Now, the Chihuahua is still open. The Chihuahua is at 425. Thank you, Paula Wenzel Bellicera, who is one of our donating artists and an on-air talent. It had a $350 value. We're still taking bids at $425. Parcheesi just got an opening bid of $188 by Maria Winkler, so I'd like to see that go up. What I have here is the Cherry Blossom Festival. And it has got a current bid of $500, and I really need to see that get up close to $800. That's the retail value. So we're going to close this out in a few minutes. It's 25B, it's Cherry Blossom, it's a beautiful award winner. Right now I need a $600 bid, and we're going to go back and look some more at that wonderful Parcheesi board. Back to you, Akiba.
Thank you, Dee. Maybe it's just that I haven't made myself clear, so let me try it one more time. 1-800-270-6601. I know you guys are shocked by the amazing nature of this art that we've got here, but do not be so amazed that you sit there and let this art pass you by. Call us right now and get your bid in. 188, that was a good number to start with, but now we're looking for 200. So give us a call right now. Get us a bid of $200 on this wonderful piece,
Parcheesi 2. Can I ask an honest question?
Please do.
With that bid, are they only bidding for one half of this painting?
Oh, well, it looks to me like then whoever it is that's got that 188 bid may have to come in with a little bit more.
I think think so.
It's Parcheesi too. This is what happens at the KVIE Art Auction. Wonderful pieces come up. We've got some great values for them, and all you have to do is call so that you can actually have it on your wall. And remember, you can actually come in and pick this up tomorrow, so that you could find that place for it on your wall, whether it's in your living room, your den, or wherever. You can get that up there on the wall tomorrow.
Yes, and I was just noting as the camera was panning across in a close-up, I mean, that's what the people that are going to see when they come into your home and see this. This is striking. You can see it 50 feet across from the room. It's eye-catching. It immediately captures your eye.
It really is, and so that's why you got to get your bids in right now. 1-800-270-6601. We got to get a $200 bid on this, so all you've got to do is get yourself involved. And here we come to 26B, and I mean, this kind of speaks for itself. I don't really want to say too much about it, except that if I were not here auctioning this, I would be on the phone bidding. This is a piece called Portrait Ansel Adams, and well, ta-da.
Well, ta-da, and what I can say is a picture is worth 1,000 words. So how much more can I say? This is iconography, Ansel Adams, with his photos in the background. What more can be said? This is a splendid piece of black and white photography for your collection.
And clearly people know that, because we've already got a $600 bid. We're going to push this one well past its retail value of $1,200, because what we're looking at, as you just said, it's iconography. I mean, it's not just a great picture, because I mean, even without him in it, it's a great picture. I love the texture of the couch, and I love the images in the background, and I love the texture of the frame that the images are sitting on. But then he's in the picture. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, 1-800-270-6601. I swear, I will leave this on camera position and go bid on it myself if I don't hear that phone ring here very soon. Call us, 1-800-270-6601, so that you can actually have this piece in your home.
And, you know, if we had to say more and draw attention to detail, but right on the corner of this bench that he's seated on, this is classic arts and crafts style of construction. A very simple piece of furniture banking that he's seated in. So,
well, you know what? I've got one of my favorite ladies here in the studio. Dee's coming to talk to us about this wonderful piece, aren't you, Dee?
I really wanted to talk about Fishback's piece. He is a really well-known photographer. He has published books on his portraiture. He was lucky enough, his father was also a photographer, to have known Ansel Adams. If you are an Ansel Adams collector, if you have a friend who's a photographer, what a beautiful, beautiful piece. This is one of our California masters. He will be our photographer juror for the next year's auction. Ooh, I let that cat out of the bag.
Oh, this
so we
is
really
amazing.
need to get the bid up on this piece.
Yeah, we do. And you've got to call 1-800-270-6601. Thank you so much, Dee, because listen, just here's a great tie-in. Just the other night, I'm watching National Parks, America's Greatest Treasure, and at the end of it, they were talking about the role that Ansel Adams played in the development of the national parks here in this country. And this piece, I mean, it speaks to it, because right in the background you see some of that iconic work that he did that made Yosemite what it is today.
This is Half Dome we see here.
Right, exactly.
A wonderful smile on his face, and of course, Dee has secrets that I don't have privy to, so that was good to know about Mr. Fishback and his juror position for next year.
Well, all you've got to do if you want this piece in your home is call us. 1-800-270-6601 and support the mission that is KVIE. Support the mission that is the things that you watch on TV every day, whether it's the BBC News, whether it's your kids watching Word Girl, whether you enjoy Nova or History Detectives. At the end of the day, pick up the phone, call, and support with this wonderful piece that you can have in your home. And now we're going to move on to this next piece, 26C, which is called Rained Bud. That's Rained Bud by Shimo. This is a beautiful piece that Archival Framing did a great job on as well. Talk to me about this amazing piece of artwork.
Shimo is a very respected Chinese artist, and he immigrated to this country in 2003. And so this is kind of a mixture of East meets West, or known as Neo-Orientalism.
Okay.
And so basically we have the lotus blossom bud in a rainstorm. And so we have this kind of reflection of rainbow from the rain. It's almost coralesque looking if you'd look at brain coral, the treatment here. But incredible detail of colors popping out. But again, these bold brush strokes in the very ancient Chinese tradition.
So let me say it very simply. 1-800-270-6601 is the number, and we're looking for a bid of $450 for this truly moving piece of art. One of the things I was telling you about earlier, Will, that stuck out for me was the small pops of color that you find here.
Yes.
They just stand out, and I think they're the kinds of things you can tie into your room in so many different ways, whether it's a throw pillow or something. But whatever you want to do to tie it in, you first have to make the phone call to make a bid. 1-800-270-6601 is the number, and we need a bid of $450 on this piece. I mean, it's great work.
Well, to say a little bit more about what I see into this piece or read into it psychologically, again, the lotus is known as the noble flower, and you will find the Buddha often presented coming from a lotus blossom. And I think the piece challenges each of us to look at our own spirituality and to see if we can blossom into a beautiful spiritual being in our lifetime.
See, this is the wonderful thing about art. It's an interpretation. When you look at it through this wonderful HD technology that we've got, I'm sure you see something that may not necessarily be what he's talked about. And at the end of the day, that's the greatest part of art, is that you get to interpret it the way that you enjoy it. So that when you bring it into your home, it's going to do what you want it to do. And then for everybody that comes in to visit, you get to share that same experience with them. So ladies and gentlemen, call if you want Rain Bud. 1-800-270-6601 is the number. Now we're moving on to 26D, which is a piece called Sage Tall Ripple Vase. I got stuck on this piece because I was absolutely shocked by what I saw in all of the subtle colors here. You've got to get on the phone if you want this Sage Tall Ripple Vase. We're looking for a bid of $100. It's a $375 value, but that just seems so inexpensive to me.
Dee is here to assist.
Thank you, Dee.
In no way would dare touch this. This is beautiful art glass at its finest by Rick and Janet Nicholson. And we have the white inner coating in the throat of the vase.
Amazing.
On the outside, though, is this very almost elusive sage blue gold fusion of colors with very strong kind of agate brown, almost as if you would find little rocks or chips in there. It's an exquisite piece, very detailed oriented. And I'm hoping that it does come across with
it does.
Light through it.
It does. It's amazing.
You have a translucence of seeing the light through it. And cascading of these figures and almost texture that you can feel.
This one is simple.
Functional.
It's functional.
Yes, functional.
I was just going to say it's a centerpiece, and you can add a nice floral arrangement to it.
Dozen of roses in it, or sunflowers, or
exactly. Imagine all of the places that you can put it, but you can only imagine that and make it a reality if you call us. 1-800-270-6601 is the number. We've got a bid of $100, but that is nowhere near good enough. We need your support here at KVIE, and we want to get this amazing piece of art in your home. So call us right now, get these phones ringing, and get yourself, there you go, I like that. Get yourself into the bidding action so that you can have this piece of art at your home. I see this
I
base.
trust that whoever measured this are correct, but they said it's 15 inches tall. This appears to be taller than 15 inches
I think it's closer to 18.
I think I would go with 18 as well.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with the experts.
This is quite beautiful.
I love this
Again,
base. It's clear.
Beautiful.
Oh, and I see a signature there at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's
yes,
beautiful.
Signed by here by the artist, 2013.
So this one is simple. We've got a $150 bid now, but that, again, I'm just going to keep saying it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not enough. You want to have this piece of art in your home, on top of the fact that you also want to support KVIE because you appreciate the programming that keeps on coming. So get on the phone and call us, 1-800-270-6601, so that you can have Sage Tall Ripple Vase at your home. Now we're moving on to 26E, and I was intrigued intrigued by this the moment I saw it Monday at the preview party. And I also noticed that there were a couple of interested parties lurking around it. That means if you want it, you better get on the phone quickly. But let's talk about this. This is called December Hush by Marilyn Kucht.
Yes, it's a wonderful piece of metal sculpture. Typically, pieces
Beautiful.
like this you would see that are life-size outdoors, right? But here you have it to admire within your home. Marilyn has a Master's of Art degree from the University of Washington. She left a high-powered business career with the Bank of America in order to pursue her art. And so this, to me, appears to be a magnolia leaf from the magnolia tree. Which is, you know, evergreen. It's an incredible tree in this circle that's never ending and only broken in one spot.
Which is very interesting. I mean, I find, and the floating leaf, there's a lot of elements of this piece that you've got to find attractive as well, because I'm sure you can see it on your screen. This is a beautiful piece of art, and we need a bid of $1,200. So call us right now. 1-800-270-6601, and imagine this centerpiece, let's say on the table right inside of the foyer. You come in the house and you see this kind of a piece. That floating leaf just gives you a sense of kind of freedom there.
It's again a very Asian minimalist, but an elegant way of making a statement. I like what the artist had to say. She said, "Titles insinuate my personal response to each sculptor at the specific moment of naming, but meaning, if it exists, is found uniquely by each viewer." So this goes back to where I'm saying, how can I be the art expert when each person has their own unique reaction? But I'm going to tell you, this is one of a kind, an important part and piece to add to your collection.
Well, and at the end of the day, that's what we were saying at the last piece. It's this idea that it's an interpretation. What you interpret about art is what moves you. It's the thing that gets you on the phone, calling 1-800-270-6601, by the way, so that you can get yourself this piece of art at your house. And I mean, art experts, if you will, people that collect as you do, the obsessive collectors, and I really like that term, by the way.
Maybe
compulsive.
Not obsessive.
Well, hey, you told me a story about when you were 14, so
that's right.
Listen, if you're an art collector, you know, you can see the quality here, and so all you've got to do is get on the phone. Give us that $1,200 bid and get yourself into a bidding war, because I'm sure this one's going to climb through the roof before the night's out. 1-800-270-6601 is the number, and you can get yourself involved with December Hush. And now we're going to move on to this very interesting piece you and I were discussing, Will, before we came out. It's 26F, called "Don't Worry, Darling" by Janice Horn. It's a mixed media piece, and I think this really does define mixed media, wouldn't you say?
Oh, it definitely is mixed media. There's a little bit of everything here. A memento of history about maybe at the time of war of your loved one going off to war.
There's actually a checklist of things we're about to go through here, but before we do, let me just say there's a $100 bid on the table right now, and you want this piece. When you hear some of the small memorabilia that we're going to talk about in here, you're going to want this piece. So go ahead, get on the phone right now. 1-800-270-6601 and get yourself in front of that $100 bid. Now let's talk about some of the things we've seen
So
in here.
Here we have the hanky which says, "Don't worry, darling, I'll be back someday," in a very beautiful scripted.
Right.
We have the heart-shaped locket with his picture when he's probably about 18 or 19 going away. We have a postcard with a 1-cent stamp, postmarked Nashville, Tennessee.
Did you say 1 cent stamp?
1 cent stamp. We have airmail stamping here, 6 cents, 8 cents. We have his picture later in his uniform. We have a dried rose. We have a Decca 33 1/3 long play, The Glowworm by the Mills Brothers.
Yes. Wow.
We have threads. We have the old clothespin. And even on the back side of this piece, which you can't see, that's holding it up at the angle that you're seeing it, is actually a knife holder, a butcher's block knife holder that is filled with the old ice caking, the cake icing knife, other knives, and an old pair of scissors.
This is as good as it gets. I mean, we've been seeing wonderful art all weekend, but this is a perfect example of true quality art that has so much involved in it.
This one piece here alone, under these sunglasses, is a wooden hand-painted fan outlined in lace, all hand
that's
painted,
beautiful.
and a complete artwork in of itself.
Ladies and gentlemen, get on the phone, 1-800-270-6601, so that you can have this wonderful piece of art in your home. It's a very simple process, and it involves you supporting not only your art interests, but also involves you supporting this wonderful art. And so now we're going to toss it over to Heath and see what Heath is talking about with Parcheesi 2.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Akiba. I'm over here with Maria Winkler's piece, Parcheesi 2. I'm actually surrounded by California Masters here. We have a bid of $200 on this item against a retail of $625. Now is the time, folks. If you wait 5 minutes, these pieces are not going to be available and you won't have them in your collection, and we know that you want to take home some beautiful pieces of art. $200 is the current bid on this item. We're looking for you to come in at $225 and get that auction going. Numbers right there on your screen, 1-800-270-6601. That's the number to call. Let's get our volunteers working. Let's get those phones ringing. And now I'm going to walk this way and we're going to go take a look at the portrait of Ansel Adams, which also, as I said, I'm surrounded by California Masters tonight. This piece is currently at a bid of $600. Folks, now is the time, 1-800-270-6601. I want to see a bid of $650 on this piece. You are not going to find this anywhere else but in the KVIE Art Auction. We're bringing you unique and first edition pieces from Northern California artists. So now is the time. Every dollar that you spend supports the station that you love, all of the programs that you watch every single day of the year, all the services that you and your family enjoy from the station. It's all about you. You make it possible for us to have these special events and for us to be able to share the art of the Northern California artists. We're going to send it over to Dee to talk about the next piece in the rotation. I believe that's Shimo's piece, Dee.
I'm standing here next to this beautiful piece by Shimo. Shimo runs the Shimo Center for the Arts in downtown Sacramento. He is a contemporary and a compatriot. He hangs out a lot with Gregory Kondos. So those are two great artists that are both in this area. It's your chance to own a beautiful piece of his. It's a $1,500 value. I'm only at $650. I want to get this piece up to $800. It's called Rained Bud. It's never, it's been museum quality framed. It's got a nice green frame on it. It's one of 50 and it's a limited edition on absolutely beautiful paper. It's got his wonderful sensibility about it with the greens and just this little spot of red. It's a very exciting piece of his. We've only got a $650 bid. Let's get that up to $800. So let's go to Akiba and see what you guys are doing.
Well, Dee, I thank you for the toss because we're over here at this piece that I was talking about a minute ago. December Hush is an amazing piece of metal artwork that I want you guys to get into your house. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start a bidding war right now. $1,200 is the bid that we're looking for. And what I need you to do right now is get on the phone and call 1-800-270-6601. I know it seems like you've probably been watching the art auction all weekend and you've been waiting for this great piece of art. This is it right here. It's called December Hush and we need your bid. So call us right now. And we're going to toss back over to Heath really quick. Heath.
We are. I'm back over here at Parcheesi 2. Again, this is Maria Winkler's piece. We've got a bid of $250 on this piece. Now is the time, folks. $250 is what we've got. We're looking for you to come in with a bid of $300 and make this an auction. We want to end the night strong. This is our second night of the auction. We want to end strong, and you can make it happen by calling 1-800-270-6601. And now I'm going to make our camera guy, Jeff, do a little bit more work because we're going to go back over and take a look at the Ansel Adams piece, which is right next to me. The current bid here is $600, folks. It was $600 when I talked to you just a minute ago, so we need you to call in now. 1-800-270-6601. As I said, we want to end the evening strong. All of these dollars support the shows that you love, and they support the great art that you will be able to take home and make part of your collection. And now I think, Dee, are you ready to talk about the Shimo piece over there? Let's send it over to Dee and talk about the Shimo piece.
Okay, I just ran across the studio, so I'm glowing. I've got the Shimo piece over here. We still only have a bid of $650. I need 50. This is a $1,500 piece. This guy is in museums. He has his own art center. It's a beautiful piece. It would go great if you have a very elegant sort of contemporary home. It kind of works in either a contemporary home or something maybe a little more classic. So I want to hear those bells ring. My Kaplan kids are sitting over there waiting for you to call us. So give us a call. I'm going to kick this over to Akiba and Will so they can tell you a little bit more about Marilyn Cook's piece.
Yeah, I got to talk about this because this is an amazing piece. Look, I've been authorized to say these words. We're looking for an $800 bid. Shh. Get in right now. 1-800-270-6601 is the number, but you've got to call in right now because the bargain that you're going to be getting for this, the phones are starting to ring right now, and I know people want to get this piece, but the only way that you can do that is if you're involved in the actual bidding process, that back and forth that two people do. I mean, it's a wonderful piece of metal, and I understand that she is, first of all, she won last year.
That's right. Marilyn is a very prominent Bay Area artist,
Okay.
very well known,
All right,
highly
all right.
collected. And I want to say this, she says, I do not set out to create meaning in my sculptures. But I'm going to tell you this, you've heard the term going out on a limb, right?
Right, right.
Well, to leave a high-ranking job with
yeah.
Bank of America to be an artist, this to me represents that fragile balance.
Yes, it does.
Of stepping out into an abyss, off a cliff. You're like this leaf in the middle of nothingness to do that. That is incredible courage that this woman has. And I think the courage and the strength shows in the balance of this art piece.
And it doesn't really take a lot of courage and strength to pick up a phone. I mean, whether it's your cell phone or your Princess phone, get on the phone and make the phone call. And a lot of you, I'm sure, can feel that same sense of purpose, you know, that idea that this is what I do, but I want to do something more. I have a passion for something else. Some of you may have a passion for art and collecting art, and this is a great opportunity for you to have a wonderful piece in your home. But you've got to get on the phone, though. 1-800-270-6601. We've got bids coming in. Somebody's about to make me smile. I can just feel it coming because we've got excitement going on around the studio. Heath, talk to me.
Well, I will give you a quick recap of what's going on over in the phone bank because we did get the phones ringing. Parcheesi 2 currently has a high bid of $250. Portrait of Ansel Adams has a bid of $600. That's only half of retail, folks. Rained Bud, which is the beautiful Shimo piece. This is a 1 of 50 limited edition, is now $650. The Ripple Vase, which we're about to close, is a bell ringer at $400. And Don't Worry Darling, the final piece in this collection, is at $100. But the piece that needs a bid right now is December Hush. We are looking for a starting bid of $800. And Dee is going to go over and talk about this piece, December Hush.
Okay, please.
Hey, we've got new people here with us because it's not just me and Will anymore. Dee, you got to tell us something about this wonderful piece of art and the artist.
Yeah, Marilyn, I know. I'm touching it. What I love about steel works and metal works is they develop a patina over time.
Yeah.
What's nice about this piece is Marilyn does huge public works and really large pieces that are as tall as you.
Right.
So it's nice to have a piece, it can go indoors or outdoors. It's meant to be viewed, and here I go. Oh, because it is pretty heavy. It can be viewed from both sides. It casts a really great shadow. This is a really nice piece for a corporate collection. You want to make an elegant statement when somebody comes into your office.
Can I just say, ha! Ha! We got an $800 bid on this.
There we go.
Let's get this thing moving, ladies and gentlemen. Call us right now, 1-800-270-6601. Get yourself involved in the bidding for this amazing piece of artwork.
It is a beautiful piece. She's an award-winning artist. She brought this all the way up from the Bay Area.
Oh, yeah.
Marilyn donates to the auction on a regular basis. Just one of my favorite artists. We need to get this up. We need to get this up closer to its retail value.
And listen, like Will was saying just a minute ago, this artist took a leap, left a job, started a whole new career. Why don't you take a leap? Why don't you take a leap tonight, right now? Get on the phone, 1-800-270-6601, and take the leap of faith that you want to support this wonderful programming that is KVIE and get this amazing piece of art in your home.
I know, turn over a new leaf.
Exactly. But
there it is.
Come on, call us, 1-800-270-6601. That's the number that you've got to call so that you can have this piece in your home. We're looking for some more bids, and we want to hear that phone ringing.
And I love pieces like this. This piece will be around forever. Your children will fight over it. It'll be an important part of your home collection. We are going to toss back over here for some good news from our friend Heath.
Yes, come on.
The good news is it's time to close this piece. Going once for the Sage Tall Vase at $425. Going twice and sold at $425. Gorgeous Sage Tall Ripple Vase. So the last thing that we want to do, send it back over to Akiba to close out the night for us.
Because listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful opportunity to get all of this artwork in your home. Don't forget the number. We've still got art available for you. 1-800-270-6601, just like the piece that you see here. It's called December Hush, and you've got to get it in your home. And at the end of the day, that's all we have for tonight. Be sure to join us again tomorrow, starting at 12 noon, as we continue to auction off original art at the KVIE Art Auction. Thank you very much for joining us, and good night.
Thank you.